that intro video. We're moving on up in the world, aren't we, Kat?
We are. We are. Now we have our own video. Pretty soon we'll have our own song. I don't even know. We'll be singing.
We're going to have everything, you all. Welcome back. If you missed us last week, we did our first webinar series on Airdomo, where we're talking about Beyond Borders, the Global Life series, where we're speaking about everything, you know, second home, third home, fifth homes, whatever homes, and what we're doing, you know, outside of the United States and investing in real estate, or even, you know, just vacationing outside of too. So, Kat, I think today we're going to talk about golden visas, right?
We are. We are. You know, they become increasingly popular, especially, you know, during the pandemic. A lot of people were working remotely, and they had the opportunity to work in different places, whether it be a different state, a different country, and it's become increasingly popular as remote work is still a thing. So yeah, it's kind of how I found out about all of these. You know, I was stuck in Croatia during the pandemic, and I'm from Greece, which has like a pretty robust golden visa program. So yeah, it's pretty exciting.
You know, there's so many countries, islands that have jumped on this bandwagon,
Yeah.
and they're making it easier for us US citizens to come and be a part of their society.
Mhm.
And what's nice about that is working in real estate for the 26 years that I have, and specifically since the pandemic and during the pandemic, focusing a large part on global real estate.
Yep.
You know, that's a fear of purchasers. The fear is, well, I don't want to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in a foreign country where my investment may not be protected.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what this golden visa is, you all, is that it enables you to invest into the country and receive in return a citizenship of residency, a visa, so to speak. And they're all a little bit different, but there's so many out there that are offering this. And so, you know, what's great about that is that you do have that safety, you do have that security, and you don't have to worry that you're not a citizen and you know, you're not protected, or your rights to that property are not protected for long term. And so that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. So let's just dive right into it. And, you know, a lot of people are interested in the legalities. Of course, especially if you're an American citizen, you know, I want to go live in a foreign country. Can I just up and move? Do I have that option, or do I have to go through some legal requirements? So can you kind of take us through some of the things they need to consider when they are maybe thinking about buying a second home?
Well, that's exactly what you need to do. You need to consider, what does it take to become an owner of real estate in that country? You know, just a couple of years ago, I visited a place that I fell in love with in the Caribbean, and I absolutely could see myself and my family owning a residence there. And so I did some investigation, and I went, wow, wow, and wow.
Mm-hmm.
There was an application process. There was a large and hefty fee that came with that application process that had to be paid regardless if I was approved or not, if our family was approved. There was a lot of documentation that had to be set forth. And so as I was going through this process, it was looking more or less not so much of an option. And so that's when I started to explore the golden visa route, and where else was very similar, that we could have that Caribbean feel. We could have our feet in the sand. We could have that tropical climate, but they were more welcoming. And so that's when I started to do a lot of the investigation. And you will find that there are several that are just that. You know, they'll have a requirement of $100,000 investment into real estate, or $250,000 investment into real estate. You know, which more than likely you're going to spend that or more on a piece of real estate there. You know, and then you're automatically given that residency. You have the right to own property. You are counted as a tax paying citizen, which is exactly what they want. And all of the rest of that goes away. I don't know if people saw this, but we have sort of that similar thing in the United States where people can invest. It has been around that 850,000, I think $822,000 into the United States and come in on a golden visa, so to speak, here in the U.S.
I didn't even know that.
And do the same thing
Yeah.
into business, okay? But it's around business. So like today I was on a call. I have some clients that are looking at the Dominican Republic, and here's a great prime example, okay? The Dominican Republic, beautiful. It's beautiful, you all. It's gorgeous. And there is still properties there, which I cannot wait when we launch Airdomo, because we're going to have some beautiful properties all over the place on Airdomo, but we're going to have some new developments in Dominican Republic, especially, that I'm excited about, because the prices are Grand Cayman 25 years ago. They're Bahamas 25 years ago. Which enables so many more of us to get into that second home category versus the uber wealthy, right? But what's cool about Dominican Republic is that you can make $100,000 investment into an LLC. Okay, that's what they want. They want you to start a business in the Dominican Republic. Well, everybody's like, but I'm not going to start a business in Dominican Republic. Well, there's a lot of workforce there that is looking to work. Mm-hmm. So you could start a landscape company. You could start, there's all kinds of ways, but you could also start an LLC that owns your home, right? That gets into, into those criterias. And then, because especially if you're going to utilize this home for yourself, but then also use it as a rental property. Maybe when you're not staying there, you're going to rent it out by the week or by the month or what have you, then it would be wise to own it in an LLC. And that does count as a business. And so that's how their golden visa works. They want business investment into the country.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And I feel like a lot of people don't even understand that there are American territories in the Caribbean. There's U.S. Virgin Islands,
yeah.
Puerto Rico. There's all kinds of options there that are actually U.S. territories, but will give you that entire, vibe, feel. So that should be a consideration too. But one that's become really popular recently because of its proximity to the U.S. is the Bahamas. Yeah. For people in Florida, we're talking, a 30-minute flight, 35 minutes.
It's a 45-minute boat ride on Crazy. Certain boats from Fort Lauderdale, let's say. Okay. Yeah. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, a long weekend. If you're working remotely, it's a very, very easy commute. That's nothing. You could spend more than that in traffic, easy. So, tell us a little bit about the Bahamas. If you have any information, if you have any, clients or anyone thinking about going to the Bahamas.
Well, like you said, the Bahamas, the proximity, it just makes complete sense. And the Bahamas has always been welcoming of U.S. citizens coming there and purchasing real estate, mm-hmm. And even developers coming there and purchasing real estate. What's surprising is about the Bahamas, and this is shocking to me. And Kat, you're very well traveled, okay? Yeah. And I haven't been to every little nook and cranny of the Bahamas. I've been to obviously Nassau and Freeport, but the Bahamas is made up of over 100 little bitty islands. Mm-hmm. More than just those two main ones. And what you're finding are developments popping up. Like you wrote about this on our Airdomo LinkedIn, right? With
Montage.
I'm sorry, what was the one that we talked about?
Montage, definitely. Wynn Resorts is building a big, huge development right outside of Nassau.
Yeah,
What a good.
absolutely. And so what they're doing is you're seeing these hotel brands
Mhm.
building homes, villas, condominiums, giving us that first class 5-star resort feel with the pleasure and the ability of ownership with that investment, right? But we're going there and we're feeling like we're there at a resort. We're being treated as if we're there at the resort, and we're there close to some of these resorts so that we're able to also use those amenities. And
Mhm.
that is becoming something that is really, really huge. And so it's absolutely welcoming to that. And the other thing with some of these resorts, and we'll have a lot more of this, so definitely make sure you follow us on LinkedIn, because this is what we want to do, is educate our audience on all these opportunities. But a lot of these resorts, like the Four Seasons and different ones, they will allow you to do trading in throughout their brands in different locations too. Not all, but some. There's that availability as well. So it's pretty impressive. But the Bahamas, we've got a lot of developers I'm so excited about that over the course of the next 15 months, we're going to see a lot of projects that are already in the works, that are coming online, that are going to be huge opportunities for all of us in the Bahamas. Some of these will be rehab projects where these are older resorts, great locations, but they need a facelift.
Right.
And that's exactly what's going to happen, is they're going to get a really good facelift. And this time around, instead of being rental, they're going to be for sale. And so we can own it, and they've got marinas and so forth. And then we're also going to see new developments as well popping up on these islands. So it's really awesome.
Yeah, that's super exciting. I mean, I write about hotels, and if I have to say that what the worst part about being in a hotel is having to leave it, especially if it's a beautiful resort and stuff. So to know that I always would have something to look forward to, and have all of those amenities, the resort amenities, whether it be the spa, the restaurants, just the general overall service is unimaginable. Like it's my perfect scenario, but yeah, that's really exciting. And are there any other countries in the Caribbean? I mean, I know that Europe has really gone full on with golden visas. I'm Greek, and they've become so popular that the threshold has gone from 250,000 to purchase a property to 500,000, and still that hasn't deterred people.
Yeah,
And very often, what has become so popular, as well as purchasing these properties, can also lead to citizenship. So you have the opportunity of dual citizenship as
that's
well.
right.
And that's become a very popular thing. People want to be residents of the world. If I think that's a perfect way to put it. And so that's become really, really popular. Um, Tell us about some other countries in the Caribbean that are really pushing forward with the golden visas, because I know that every day everything is changing, and actually working out for the consumer, for people that are interested in buying.
Absolutely. Well, Antigua actually does exactly what you just talked about.
Mhm.
With an investment of 400,000 in real estate, you're going to get full-blown citizenship in
Perfect.
Antigua. Also, Barbuda is that as well. Dominica, which is way far south, right below or right around St. Lucia. Beautiful, beautiful rainforest island. If you love hiking, you will love hiking amongst the waterfalls. It reminds me of Maui, but it is in the Caribbean, with $200,000 investment in approved real estate, you will get full citizenship. St. Kitts and Nevis is another one. And then I want to kind of, push over to, the Central America, because Costa Rica has been extremely popular throughout the years. And again, with 150,000 in real estate investment, you're going to receive that golden visa, which again is big. And after 3 years, they're going to give you full-blown residency, and then citizenship's attainable after the 7 years of owning there. And
Wow.
so as you sit, as you stay here, there's quite a bit of things. Panama is another one that you see beautiful developments popping up. There's a friendly nations visa that offers residency to citizens from designated countries, United States being one of them.
Mhm.
It's 200,000 that you're going to invest in real estate or more, or you can establish employment. So if somebody wanted to go there and establish employment, then they would also be offered that. So yes, and then again, that provides that straightforward path to permanent residency. Brazil has this, Colombia, Paraguay. There's so many of them, and this is becoming more and more popular because as all of us, want to play with each other, so to speak, there's just more and more opportunity. So definitely make sure you take a look. And these are changing all the time for the better, in the more positive manner. The only one I saw this year take a step back was Portugal. They took just a tad bit of a step back. I think they got enough of us, right? Or not in a bad way, but they had a lot of people, make plenty of investment. So now they're giving citizenship or residency to those that are coming to preserve Portugal history.
Yeah.
That's worded now. So.
Yeah, I mean, I can count at least 7 or 8 friends that have bought homes in Costa Rica, but I didn't know that the threshold was 150,000. I mean, I'm from California. You can't buy anything in California for 150,000, nothing. So that is unbelievable.
There is so many projects happening in Costa Rica. Costa Rica is amazing, you all. For the first time, I was in Costa Rica, let's see here, 2 years ago, or maybe a year and a half ago. And one of the best stories that I have on, we were there listing a resort. And so I was there on business at doing a listing for an entire resort of homes scattered throughout. Very fun. We saw massive whales because we were there in September and it was mating season. So there was whales everywhere, big semis coming out of the ocean. It was gorgeous, the Pacific Ocean. But the other thing is the iguanas were going wild and crazy. And we happened to stay at Dreams Resort. Yep. And the Dreams was all inclusive. And my husband and we had some friends with us, business associates on our real estate team. And my husband and a friend of they got cheeseburgers at the cheeseburger stand at the pool, sat them down, and the iguanas came out of the bushes and grabbed the cheeseburgers and ran off with them. No lie. So we have it on video where the Costa Rican iguanas love cheeseburgers.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Costa Rica, I remember, a few years ago, it wasn't that easy to get to, but now there are so many gateways. There's smaller airlines that are traveling there. If you're, on the East Coast, of course, very easy to get to Costa Rica. There's nonstop flights all the time.
Yes.
So yeah, from Texas, from everywhere. I think even
from Miami. I mean, the eastern side of the corridor from Miami, it's a very quick flight, there and back. And the travel once you get there to your destination, is it's not bad at all. And you're seeing some jungle, you're seeing monkeys, you're seeing some cool wildlife. I'm from Kentucky. We see deer, we see some wild turkey. There you're seeing monkeys, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's exotic. It's like it's an entirely different experience. So, okay. This is all happening. It's all happening very fast to the golden visas. So many different countries are adopting it who haven't yet. So if people want to get more information, who should they reach out to?
They should reach out to me here at Airdomo. If you're looking to invest in that piece of real estate, reach out to us. Let us guide you. Let us help you. Let us make sure that you get that perfect destination home, and that we make sure that you take advantage of everything that's there to benefit you and make it just a smooth transaction. This is the thing that you don't want to do. You don't want to go without representation in the United States when you're purchasing real estate.
For sure.
Please don't go without representation when you're purchasing globally. Leave it up to us to help guide you. We've got specialists everywhere, and that's exactly what we're doing here at Airdomo, is making this a smooth transition and transaction.
Amazing. So if anyone has any questions, if you have questions about a certain country, or you're unsure, or you just want to speak with someone, you can DM either one of us. We're happy, if I don't know the answer, I'm happy to give you to Stephanie or to someone else within the company. It's really exciting. Please follow us on LinkedIn, and we will be here again next week, same time, and a different topic, something that will excite you if you're thinking about buying a second home. Thanks, Stephanie. It's always fun.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Bye, all.